Hey everybody, how are we doing? This is the Hookah Doctor here, and I'm showing you my basic setup that I use for pretty much every video. There are some variations here, like I have 2 hoses, 3 bowls that I usually use, but I do switch it up every now and then, so I'll just go into more detail with that. Starting off though, we have my Fumari Galactic Snow base, and as you can see, it's kind of blackish with the white all around it. Those white bits glow, and I'll actually show you that. I just had it sitting out in the sunlight a little bit. If you put it down here, as you can see, those all glow a nice dark green, which is very cool. I always love it whenever I bring this bad boy outside and then I bring it inside and it's glowing like a masterpiece. It's awesome. So this fits about 25 ounces of water, which comes up to about here, which is perfect for the KM stem that I have. Now the KM stem that I haven't seen actually any reviews on this. It's a KM Pantera, which is an electroplated black stem, and let me get close up right there. If you can see that, it's got like nice embeveled coating on it. Now it's black and it's coated, so that means that there's a silver, it's like the regular standard steel or whatever like that background on it, and then it's coated with the coating that's on it now. So it's got the standard, let me show you this, lighting, there we go. This is kind of hard doing a review with it because it is black, so it's kind of hard to get the lighting all correct. You see, there we go. So we've got the flowers on it, that's standard with a KM, right where the ashtray usually goes. This stands 30 inches tall from the bottom here of the stem all the way up to the top. It's got a pretty standard hose valve, as well as one of the updated purge valves by KM, if you can see that there. It's got the nice auto seal grommet, which I love. So it's especially nice for using different bases. So for instance, I don't have a KM base, I have a Fumari base, and since it has this nice auto seal on it, it makes this thing a piece of cake. Just put a little bit of water usually around the let me see if I can point to it. No, around this part, these little grooves here, and then it fits nice and snugly inside the base. Any base that you have that fits. It's about 1.34 inches in width, and that's usually the standard for most bases or vases or whatever you want to call it. So yeah, let me show you the down stem here. That is beautiful. That's what I love. I started off using Maya bases or vases and Maya stems, and those usually inside here it's all grooved, and that's where you actually pull in the smoke. However, KM has a nice straight down stem, so it makes for when you go to clean it, it makes it wicked easy. It's nice and solid, and it's easy to get any ghosting flavors that are in there out. Same thing with the valve here, the hose port. Now if you look down here, there are a few things to notice about this hookah. Is that, see those little chips there? There, and on the very tip here, see how that's silver? That's supposed to be black like the rest of it. When I first got it, it was black, but after some use, some bowl scraping on it, and on the bottom here, after it sitting in water for a while, the chip, or the coating starts to chip a little bit. So that's one thing that I am disappointed about. However, the rest of the pipe is phenomenal. The draw is perfect. When you purge it, you just one nice big breath and the whole vase is all purged out. Now one thing you have to keep in mind with KM stems is that if it's a regular stem, you have to have an extra large wind cover. That is not something that I was familiar with, so I got this wind cover, which is just a regular large wind cover, but it's still not tall enough. Let me show you real quick. Go. Watch. When I put this here, see, already it's more than halfway up. So if I put a bowl on top of there, the bowl would be sitting right about here. Actually, let me show you. If I was using, say, my funnel bowl. Look. See? So that doesn't work. Because if I try to put it on top and I have it set on top, then this part is touching the coals, so that doesn't work. So yeah, usually what I'll do is I'll either use my small Egyptian bowl with the wind cover, or I'll just use a lot of coals on my funnel bowl. So let me show you the tray real quick, and then I'll move on to the bowls. The tray has this nice Kali Mamun in English here, and then it says Kali Mamun in Arabic right above it. It's got the same finish that the actual stem has, so it's like a nice metal, and then it has the coating on top of it. However, another thing, just like on the stem, on the tips of the stem, whenever I put a coal on here, if it sits there for longer than 30 seconds, it starts to bubble up the coating. If you can see those little spots there, that's from coal sitting there too long, so it starts to chip. However, you can just kind of like put a file to it, and it'll come right off. So overall, though, I love this tray. It's a nice big tray. Whenever I put coals down, or if coals fall off ever, which they hardly do anymore because this thing is so sturdy, if they do fall, they'll kind of hit the edge and just roll back in, as opposed to hitting the edge and rolling off, which I had a big problem with for a little while. So moving on, the bowls that I use primarily for reviews are these three here. You have my Chinese funnel bowl, my large Egyptian bowl, and my power bowl. As you can see, the power bowl has a lot of use to it. These two have a lot of use to it too, but since they're a darker color, it's not as easy to see as it is on here. I have a chip right here from the first day I actually got it. I opened it up and accidentally chipped it on something, so yeah, kind of dumb on my part for that, but still kicking myself for it. But it's such a good bowl that it doesn't even make that difference. As you can see, it's got 2, 4, 6, 7, 8 holes all around, and that makes for a perfect draw. Usually what I'll do is I'll pack all the tobacco in as if I'm packing it like a funnel bowl. So I'll pack all the tobacco around here and leave the middle space here open with no shisha on it. That makes the draw perfect. Plus, this thing already fits a lot of tobacco as it is. So moving on, we've got my 2 hoses that I use for reviews. I have the Najum white hose. I think this thing is, 76 inches long, 77, something like that. I know it's a couple inches longer than a normal Namor hose, but this is a Najum hose. This is the V3. I thought I was getting the black one, but I guess I selected the white one. So I ended up getting the white hose. I was kind of going black. As you can see, my whole hookah is black. And that's also why I have the black Namor hose. Now, these things are great. I love Najum and I love Namor. Let me see if I can show you the length difference here. Okay, so about even, and they come down. If you can see that, yeah, the Najum has an extra, I don't know, 4 or 5 inches on it, maybe 6. So the Najum hose is a lot longer. However, the Namor hose is more flexible. This is kind of like a rubbery kind of feel, and this has got a more textured fabric feel, so it doesn't move as much. So those two are my favorite hoses. I haven't decided which one I like the most. It's just pretty much whatever I'm in the mood for. That's what I'll go ahead and go with. So just got the 2 standard tips here that I interchange with this bad boy, which is, now this glass tip here came with the Najum hose. However, it doesn't fit as snugly in the Najum hose as it does in the Namor hose. So usually I'll use this in the Namor hose. This is a piece that pretty much only I use. If I have a close friend over or one of my siblings, I'll use that with them as well. But if it's anybody else, I don't even bring this out because it is made of glass, so it does have the potential to fall out and break, and that is not something that I want. One cool thing about this, though, is that when you look at it, it looks blue on the outside. But when you put it behind the light, it looks yellow. Cool, huh? This adds an extra, well, not much to the Najum tip, but it adds an extra inch or so onto your hose, which is nice. So this is what I use primarily for all of my hookah reviews. My KM Pantera stem, which is 30 inches long, my Fumari Galactic Snow Base, funnel bowl, large Egyptian, or a power bowl, and one of these two hoses with either their regular tips or the glass tip. And if I'm using my Egyptian bowl, that's when I use a heat shield. Otherwise, I don't use a heat shield. Obviously, there's a big what's the word I'm looking for? Advantage to having a heat shield, and I'm going to be getting a large one, anyways, like an extra large or whatever they are for the KM, just so I can have that. So if I'm outside and I have the funnel bowl on or the power bowl on or some other larger bowl on and I need a heat shield, I'll just use some tin foil and wrap it around the bowl here. Anyways, this is Seth, aka the Hookah Doctor, signing out, and this is my setup for reviews that I do. So if you ever have any questions or if you're wondering, just revert back to this video and you can see. Sometimes I'll switch it out and I'll use one of my other bowls that I have or one of their hoses that I have, but this is pretty much standard for what I use. Anyways, everybody, thanks for watching, and again, this is the Hookah Doctor. Bye-bye.